Alrighty, y'all. So in today's video, we are going to take a trip down memory lane. As we all know in life, there's a few things that you just don't forget. Um, First car, first kiss, first girlfriend, first gun. So today we're gonna talk about first ever pistol that I ever bought. Before we start, gun is clear. So we are talking about a HK P30SK. Now, full transparency, guys. I think honesty is the best policy, and I think that for anybody out there that's in their process of buying their first gun or thinking about it, I know this doesn't apply to a lot of you, but I had no business buying this gun when I bought it. And what I mean by that is I didn't have enough knowledge, I didn't have enough training, I wasn't as comfortable as I should have been. I didn't take any courses, I didn't take anything that should have made me 100% confident to fire the pistol in the situation that I needed to. I knew about guns. I knew the basics of them. I knew obviously pull the trigger, you let out a bullet, obviously common sense. But I didn't know how to correctly conceal carry. I wasn't comfortable enough to carry one in the chamber. Just a lot of things that went into it. And now that I look back, I don't regret buying the gun. I just wish I would have taken a different approach into buying it. So, with that being said, let me take you down a quick story time. I placed an order online for a 22 long rifle and an AR-15, just a cheap little pistols. I mean, cheap little AR, nothing crazy. And I knew I wanted to get into it. So I was going to save the pistol for buying it in person because I wanted to see, talk, blah, 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 blah. So I get the call, hey, your order's in, come pick it up. It's a pretty big gun store. So I get there and it was extremely packed. Very intimidating, I'll be honest. Everybody there, had outside the waistband pistols. They all had, pistols hanging out their side. I was like, what the hell? Like, I didn't have nothing. I was just like, I felt weird, out of place. And I go to pick up the order. There's obviously the paperwork you need. Well, at this time, their system was down. So, anybody that knows, this was a couple years back. So, there was a certain section where you're not supposed to fill out if you're blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to get into all that. But, anyways, so on paper, I accidentally checked it off no when I wasn't supposed to. And the guy that was helping me was just a complete jerk and was just like basically yelling at me, gave me like a go to hell look. He gets the paper, just rips it, balls it up, throws it, just looks at me stupid. And I was like, oh shit, like what do I do? Like fuck, I don't, I was like freaking out. I'm like, oh shit, like he's pissed. So anyways, another guy comes, super cool dude. He's like, yo, bro. He's like, it's all good. Everybody makes that mistake. Our system's down. He's like, are you looking for anything else? He's like, I can help you out. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, I'm actually looking for, a pistol. And he was like, okay. He's like, what do you want? He's like, hammer fired or striker fired. Guys, I'll be quite honest with you. I didn't know the difference. And I was just like, I went with my gut and I was like striker fired. I mean, I knew like back then, like the Call of Duty Colt 1911s and Glocks. I knew a little bit, but I didn't know the technicalities of it, how the trigger operated, the safety, stuff like that. That was a big mistake. I should have asked him, but I was too embarrassed to ask, and I was just like striker fired. And he's like, okay, cool. He's like, this is actually what I use. He's like, it's a HKP30SK. He's like, it's one of the best sub. He's like, well, take that back. He's like, do you want compact, full size, subcompact? In my mind, I'm like subcompact. I want it, conceal it, whatever. So he's like, I rock a P30SK. He's like, it's one of my favorite guns. It's like one of the best guns on the market. I'd highly recommend it. I'm just going with this honest opinion. I'm just like, all right, like I'll take it. Now, looking back at it, I wish I would have done more research because there's one flaw in this gun that I absolutely do not like. And I don't regret buying it. It's just something that I wish I could have done differently. So, check this out. Look how far back this trigger operates. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Boom. Apparently, HK has this version of what they call an LEM trigger, I believe is what I've been told, or a little research that I've done. It's an internal hammer fired for law enforcement, for like high stress situations, stuff like that. That's why the trigger pull is so far back. I've never really become that efficient with this gun, and a lot of people tell me that it's a hard trigger to learn, how to shoot with. So, did I have any business getting this as my first gun? Probably not. Now that I know what I know, I much would rather have gone with like an HK VP9 SK instead of the P30 SK. with just a more traditional trigger with an internal safety built in. But it is what it is. I don't regret buying the gun. HK has a really, really nice product. They stand by quality control, and I've never had any malfunctions with any of my HKs, which is what I love. And they have really, really, really nice night sights, which I love. The grip on them, it's interchangeable, so you can swap these out. And the paddle release is down here for the mag. I'm sorry, the mag release is like a paddle that you drop down for, the mag, which, in case you didn't know, that's what it's there for, which, again, I'm sure all of you know that. But anyways, you got a standard rail for the flashlight, and then, yeah, I mean, the nice serrations on the slide. Really, really nice pistol. I just wish I would have done that separately with the different trigger. Now, another funny thing about this story is I get the manual, and I'm like freaking the hell out because like I get home and I'm like, looking at the manual, and I'm like, yo, there's no safety. So one of my cousins is in law enforcement, and when you watch this video, you're gonna start laughing. So I call him, I'm like, yo, bro, I think this gun shop got one on me. Like, this gun doesn't have a safety. He's like, well, send me a picture. What is it? So I start, telling him. He's like, well, for most pistols, they actually traditionally don't have a safety. This blew my mind. I'm like, bro, on the manual it says it. He's like, well, there's different, options, different variations of the pistol. He's like, you probably just got one without it. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, so you mean to tell me people carry this thing with no safety, with one in the chamber at all times? He's like, yes. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, all right, bro, whatever. So now that I look back at it, it's a pretty funny story because like I didn't know much about pistols, but it's all good, man. I just, for anybody out there that's in the process of buying their first pistol, don't let it be intimidating, man. Just ask questions, get the training you need, take the courses, watch videos. Um, no question is a stupid question, and if somebody makes you feel that way, then you probably shouldn't be hanging out with them, or you probably shouldn't be shooting with them because, if they're like that, then that kind of says a lot about them. Um, Within this community, man, I really strive to help people that don't know about guns, that want to get into it, and teach them that it's actually the user that's the safety, not the gun itself. It's the same thing with operating a car, having a knife in your hand, whatever the case might be. So again, just anybody out there, man, just ask questions. It's gonna go a long ways. Do your research and go out there and rent guns. See what you like. See what you don't like. Everybody's different, so that's what makes the world go around. Alrighty, y'all. But enough talking about story time. Let's get into the gun. So HK P30SK. This is what it looks like with a 15 round mag, and then this is what it'll look like with the 13 round mag. So just a little bit slimmer, but you still have really nice pinky grooves right here. One thing I really like about HK is the way that their like indentions are for your hand. Feels really, really good whenever you're gripping it. That's one thing that I really, really like about them. Now, HK, one thing I love, another thing I love, no issues, guys. I've ran shitty ammo, I've ran hollow points, I've ran good quality ammo, I've ran the brass, steel, nothing malfunctions. It's crazy. I've had other guns and they literally won't run a specific ammo, or they won't do this or that. HK, you get what you pay for. I would pay the extra money any day to get a good quality product like they put out. You're going to get a really nice box, and you are going to have this little, obviously, red tag that comes with every gun, but it is what it is. Another thing that I do want to talk to you guys about, price point. So this gun was $770 or $760, something like that. Looking back, if I can make a recommendation for your first pistol, I wouldn't spend that much, just because you're going to come and go. You're going to get a lot of training with it, see what you like after you get enough experience, 400 or 500 rounds through it, then you can make your options and see if there's something that you like, or save up for something better. But I mean, guys, overall, I don't regret buying the pistol. I think that it was definitely a learning experience, and it's just some things you don't forget. This just happens to be mine, and came a long way. I think I've learned a lot since then. So yeah, thank y'all for watching, and if y'all have any questions on the gun, man, just let me know. Thank y'all.